Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Q&A, the Lead Pedal Podcast. That's right, today is a question in from a truck driver. This is episode number 1138. That's right, we're over the 1,000 mark. Hoping to, I don't know if we'll get to 2,000. We won't get to 2,000 by next year, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We're on a roll. We're on a wave. Hey, you know what? Anyway, the question from the driver is, how do I advance in my career to another position in trucking? We're going to answer that for you right after this, but let's hear from our friends over at Bison Show. At RIMS is where we want to go today. RIMS is an owner-operator company, a flatbed company out of Hamilton, Ontario, and you certainly want to check them out. If you're an owner-operator looking for a place to be successful, RIMS Transport's they got a flatbed division, they got a bulk tanker division, they got a dump bank division, and they're really good guys over there. Worked with the management team. I've talked to many of the drivers, all very happy, so check them out over at rimstransport.com. All right, let's talk about advancing in your position. I'm kind of surprised. Where was I? I was at a conference last year, or I guess earlier this year, June 2023, and this came up, and it said how many people are looking to advance themselves outside of the seat, and it was very low. The companies that they asked this to, a lot of the companies said very little, like we don't get asked that a lot. And I was very surprised, especially with an older population and an aging population in the trucking industry. I thought there would be more people looking, and it turns out they're not. They're looking, they just want to drive until they can't drive anymore is what they're saying. But anyway, this question came in and it says, how do I advance myself in a trucking position? And let me just bring this up. I should have brought it up earlier. It's my mistake there. Let's see. Questions for recruiters. Okay, so yeah, this one was, I'm not sure what I was looking for the listener's name, but I don't have it here. How do I advance myself in another position in trucking? Okay, here's how you do it. First of all, you can plan on doing it. First of all, look at what you would like to do. So it's all about temperament to begin with, okay? So the first thing you're going to do, if you have not been a safety-minded driver up to now, going into safety is going to be a hard jump. All right. So this is what you have to look at. What have you been doing in your past? What have you been really good at in your past? Have you been really good with trip planning and getting the job done? Then dispatch might be for you. Have you been one of these drivers who are super safe and you're really interested in inspections and helping new people? Then maybe training or safety would be for you. All of these positions basically come from your experience. Now, a lot of trainers and stuff, they want you to have over 10 years of experience. So if you're fairly new, you may not qualify for a lot of stuff there. But just having the experience is not going to be enough. And we've seen a lot of drivers who, they've been out there 20 years, but man, they look like they're rough. They've been out there 20 years. That is not, not automatically going to get you a job. So one of the reasons that I did, I wanted to, when I went to fleet supervisor, so I was a driver for many years, and then I wanted to move up. And so I started asking around, and I was working at a chemical company at the time, and I started asking around, and I said, what should I do? What should I take? So I'm at a chemical company. So a lot of this, I was looking at sales. I've always been fairly good talking with people. And they all said, well, you know what? Sales would be good, but you've got to have a background in chemical. I mean, you're kind of assessing people's plants. You don't want to put the wrong chemicals in and blow up a plant. But I didn't want to go back to school at that point for that type of training. I mean, we're talking going back to university for 4 years or whatever, and I wasn't about to do that. And so then I started looking at, being a fleet supervisor. I thought that was where I wanted to go, be in charge of the team. And so I started taking courses. And so this is one of the areas that you want to work in. I started taking courses from different companies. I said, we had every year we had a performance appraisal. And I said, look, I'd like to take a course a year. I'd like the company to pay for it. About nothing, not about trucking, but about people and all of that. It could be anything. So I took a course at least once a year. I took a course that I had a certificate, and I had another driver who did the same thing. The problem is he didn't act on any of the stuff that he did. He just wanted the certificates. Just getting certificates in your file is not enough. You need to be acting on that information and trying to make yourself better. And then I decided to go back to school. So I went back to school. I didn't finish my high school. As you probably know, I'm a high school dropout. I had about a year left to go when I dropped out. And so I decided to go back. I was going through some personal stuff and decided to go back and do that. And the cool thing about going back as an adult into adult education is you can take the stuff that's interesting to you. So I took stuff like business English. I took stuff like creative writing. I took stuff that today I am using all of that in my business today in media. So, but I did become, and because I took technology and websites and all of that, right at that time, our company was about to go technology. All our expense reports were going from paper to computer, and a lot of the other drivers were struggling with that. Even though they had lots of experience, they were struggling with that. So when they chose somebody, and I was in a big race with one of the other drivers for that position, I ended up getting the position. I was the youngest of the team, but I had gone back to school and learned the computers and was comfortable with a lot of the stuff that we were doing. So if I can say one thing to everybody is to look at what you've done well. Look at what you'd like to do, and then keep educating yourself. You cannot just roll into this. You, take courses, learn online. There is no reason anybody should not be learning online in this day and age, because they are missing the boat. There's podcasts, there's books on tape, there's YouTube, there's wherever you want to get your information. There's all kinds of it out there. And if you're not learning and keeping yourself abreast and looking at and using your talents, if you have talents, if you're a photographer, incorporate that into stuff, and you can create a momentum out of that is an attractive package to somebody. Think about a person who is in the seat, goes into safety, and is also an avid photographer. You're going to be really good at being able to create some of those the media that you need for training and showcasing what's wrong, when it's wrong, when it's right, those kind of things. It's going to be a real benefit to you to have that photography background. So look at how all of that is working together, and that, my friends, is going to really help you to go into the next position. Don't wait until your time is up in the seat. Start working now. It takes time. It takes a couple years to get things going. It takes time to go through courses. Don't just build courses for the sake of building courses in your resume. You want to build courses that mean something to you and that will mean something to that employer. And let your employer know that you're interested in other positions. Make sure you explain it so that they don't want to lose you and they don't want you to quit tomorrow. So let them know. That's the one thing I didn't do well when I transitioned. I didn't let my current employer at that time know that I was thinking of moving into other positions. I didn't see any at the company I was with, and that's why I quit and went to another company. But there may have been some opportunities, and I just didn't see it. So make sure you talk to your employer. Tell them that you're interested in possibly moving out of the seat. Now, remember, if you move out the seat, you may not make as much money as in the seat. So think about that. But maybe you can somehow work it out. I know I did. But you certainly want to think about that. So, hey, hopefully that helps you do the best you can. Remember that all of our Lead Pedal Q&A questions, this is general in nature. Please search out a professional in your area that you're looking for expertise to make sure that you're getting the right information for you. This is just general in nature. And you know what? If you're looking for another great company, CAT is probably one of the best companies around. They are a green efficient fleet. They have lots of lanes from Quebec to Laredo. They've been a best managed company for a number of years. They have a lot of benefits like pet policy, health policies, a lot of benefits for you, and they pay pretty well. So if you're looking for a good fleet to go on, they got terminals all through North America. Check out cat.ca and go to catcareers.com, and you can find out all the information about what's available. You don't have to speak French, but if you speak another language, even better. All right, and friends, we'll catch you on the other side. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Join us for the Wave 2024. I'm your host, Bruce Elridge. We'll see you later. Follow us, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, wherever you get your stuff, we're there. Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you later.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.